assembly all at once, which requires that there is a screw right that holds this gear here. There's a screw right there. Maybe you have to loosen the shaft support here that kind of hold the shaft from going too much up and down movement. You loosen that shaft, and that allows you to push down to push down this rotor. I mean this gear. It's like a shaft collar here. And then you loosen that. So there's a little, I don't know if this is visible enough on the video or not. Yeah. There's a screw right under the frame, between the frame and the main gear wheel. Take out this screw, and then you kind of hold the main shaft. You pull that up, and I can only hope that this is not bent. But that's the main head assembly. And then we take out this so this is the main gear. What I'll do here is, so I don't lose this screw, is kind of slide that back in there, because I end up with so many of these screws all over the place. Sometimes I have trouble figuring out what screw goes to where. So that's out. I'm gonna remove each servo. The servo are mounted with actually it's a very clever mount here. They have this support here. The frame that I purchased came with another pair, came with a piece of the servo head. This light is too bright, I think. So anyway, that's that. So I'm going to take out those two screws that support the two servos. I'll make this a little brighter. You know, this ELO, like I said, I can't say anything bad about this ELO. It's actually a very well built helicopter, but as an intermediate, I would even call myself a beginner. This comes off, and that's what support this servo. The servo has this wire tucked on behind it. As I was saying, so as a beginner slash intermediate, and I say intermediate just because I do fly 450 and I've been flying those for about a couple of years now, on and off. And you know, I purchased this Master CP because of the size of it. He allowed me to get train myself I still get disoriented with when the helicopter is facing me sometimes. And this halo here is so stable that it allows me, it's more forgiving when I need to make turns without it just taking off too fast on me. So that's one of the reasons why the bigger helicopters are, they can be a little bit intimidating with the size and the sound. I find it kind of disturbing. So that's the support, the tail boom support. I took that off. This is the cable for that goes to the tail rotor. It goes through inside this tube. So it's kind of tucked in through this frame. So I'm gonna kind of remove that. So I believe these two they do sell it separately. It's a couple of boxes. It's not that expensive. I said the parts that are expensive on this heli, they don't break. Beside the servos, most part that sustain damage frequently during crashes are usually the cheaper parts of it, sort of the tail boom, which is only like $4. You know, even the tail blade, couple of bucks. The servos, like I said, you want to replace that. It's worth the investment, or else you'll be going through replacing servos over and over again. After the first crash, and I've replaced these servos with the metal gear one, I have not have to replace these servos during any further crash that I had after that. So I'm have to be careful here because this servos plug-in, these are the so here we have this one. I'm trying, you know, so that I don't forget these, I'm trying to replace some of the parts as I go along. This little piece here is it's just to tidy up the cable from the servos. So I'm gonna put it on the new frame so I don't lose that little piece. Now here is the pin. This cable in here, take the wire wrap off. This cable in here, detach. This is for the EXE. I'll detach that. So we have the motor here. I think it's better to take off the landing skid so I can have access to the motor easier. I'm gonna reuse the landing skid. This landing skid is one tough. I mean, Walkera did whatever kind of composite material they use for this framing and the plastic. I have to say I'm very impressed. This thing, landing skid, in spite of all the crashes I've had, they held up. This is still the original landing skid. I've never had to replace it, and I mean I've sustained some loud landing. And as you see, the framing, I mean the landing skid are still in excellent shape. You know, no cracks, nothing. This looks good. Just want to put these screws back here so I know where to find them. Put that to the side. And this cable now, we just say you just have the frame here. Now I have better access to the motor. This is a 2.0 size this special rectangular head, and it's only 2 screws. It's got a washer around the edge of it, so you're gonna make sure you don't lose that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go right ahead. This is the motor. Okay, this is supposed to be one of the the new self-cooling. It's got like a self-cooling system in it. It sort of keeps the motor from cold. I've never have any problem with the fan, with the motor running to the point where it's too hot. At least not with the life of the battery that I have anyway. Like I said, these Walkera has built a well. I mean, for a reasonable price, I can't complain. It's all my fault that I did so much crashing. My 450 size LE, it doesn't even take one crash. I'm replacing parts all over the place, expensive parts. So I put a little bit of a thread lock, the blue thread lock on here, just so that the screw doesn't move around. Secure it in there better. So this is, I don't want to tighten it too much because you have to make sure it's in good alignment with the, just need a little dab of the thread lock. So that's my first piece. Another piece that goes on there. These guys I'm a little worried about because I really don't want to detach all this cable and then I have to figure out what side will get plugged where. I mean, cut the tie wrapper off. And this is glued, I guess, with a double-sided tape. Pardon me, it's a little bit tight because they use the double-sided tape to kind of secure it better. Right there you see is attached to the EXE. So what I'm gonna do is to try to mount these as I take it off, mount it right away, so I don't forget where they belong. So what do I have here? It's a power for the battery. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a picture of these, and I recommend that you do that so that way you remember. I mean, it's always, some people have better memories obviously than I do, so you can remember where all of these things go. But for me, just to make sure that I don't plug the plugs in the wrong places, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video. It's a good place to end this video and take a close picture of what all these connections look like and come back and do the rest in another part 2 of this video. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have comments, you can leave comments below, but again, like I said, I'm just trying to help anyone out there who has one of these Master CP and they find themselves in my kind of situation where they crash the frame, and the frame got damaged, and you literally have to rebuild the helicopter from scratch pretty much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. See you in part 2.